Buongiorno, buongiorno, my friends. Good morning. Welcome to Managerial Finance. We're in Chapter 8, homework number 5. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you had a great weekend. Well, I just dated the video by saying it was the weekend. Maybe it's the middle of the week. It depends on what year it is. This year is 2020, but next year will be 2020 plus, I don't know, I don't want to get into that complicated math. All right, homework number 5 for Chapter 8, valuing stocks, non-constant to constant growth. All right, question 1, what are the scenarios that investors assume regarding the future growth rate of dividends? We have to make an assumption about how dividends will grow. And there are 3 scenarios that analysts typically look at. First is constant growth, meaning the dividend will grow by the same rate each year. 5% each year, 6% each year, 7% each year. Then non-constant growth, which means that the growth rate will differ from year to year. Maybe 30% in 1 year, 35% in 2 years, 20% in 3 years, that kind of thing. And then no growth, which means you pay a dividend, but you don't grow the dividend. That sounds like a preferred stock. All right, how are these scenarios commonly combined or paired up? Okay, so typically what happens is you have a period of time where there's non-constant growth, and then analysts will assume either constant growth or no growth. And so you have non-constant growth paired up with constant growth. So you have non-constant growth for a year or 2 or 3 or 4, followed by constant growth. Or you have non-constant growth to no growth, which means you might have 2 or 3 or 4 years of varying growth rates, and then after that last year of growth is the last year that the dividend will actually grow, and from that point they'll maintain the dividend, but they won't increase it. So that is non-constant to no growth. So let's look at a few examples. Let me see if I can get this thing high enough so I don't have to bend my head down so low. All right, so question 3. A company paid a dividend of 50 cents last year. They expect to grow dividends 20% in year 1. Let me make sure I'm in the picture here. And 15% in year 2. And 10% annually each year thereafter. Okay, what type of growth patterns are paired up in this scenario? And so the first year, 20%, second year, 15%, and then after that, after the second year, 10%. So that sounds like non-constant in the first 2 years, and then constant, 10% thereafter. So it's non-constant to constant. What is the last year of supernormal growth in question number 3? Okay, so we have 20% year 1, 15% year 2, and then 10% annually each year thereafter. That thereafter means constant growth, okay? And so the last year of supernormal growth is the last year in which growth exceeds the constant growth of the no growth scenario, which is year 2, 15%, okay? What happens at the end of that last year of fast growth? In this case, year 2, and the answer is you sell the stock. You always sell the stock. You assume you sell the stock at the end of the last year of fast growth, which would be year 2. How many cash flows are involved in question 3, and label each cash flow? So we have 3 cash flows involved in question 3. We have D1, D2, and P2. If you buy this stock in question 3, you will get D1, which is D0 times 1.2. You will get D2, which is D1 times 1.15. And then at the end of year 2, the last year of fast growth, you will sell the stock and you will get P2. So there are 3 cash flows, D1, D2, and P2. All right. And the D1, 1 means 1 year ahead, 2 means 2 years ahead. P2 means the price at the end of year 2. All right, a company plans to grow its dividend 30% in year 1, 25% in year 2, 20% in year 3, 15% in year 4, and 10% in year 5. Ooh, long question. They hope they can increase it 5% annually thereafter. So it's supernormal growth. So we've got 5 years of fast growth. The last year of fast growth is year 5, 10%. Then it will slow down to 5% annually, constant growth. So non-constant to constant. How many dividends will the buyer receive? So you will receive D1, D2, D3, D4, and D5. Okay? And since year 5 is the last year of fast growth, you assume you sell the stock at the end of year 5. How many dividends will a buyer have to calculate? Well, you have to calculate D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, but then you also have to calculate P5, price at the end of year 5, and P5 equals D6 divided by K, the required rate of return, minus G. So you calculate 6 dividends, but you only receive 5 dividends. You will receive 5 dividends and P5, 6 cash flows. To compute P5, you have to compute D6, even though you will not receive D6. Okay? So 5 dividends will be received, 6 dividends must be computed. The last dividend is computed to find the terminal value. The buyer will receive 5 dividends and the terminal value, 6 cash flows. All right, number 7. How do you find the terminal value for a company that is growing their dividend at a constant growth? The terminal value is the dividend 1 period ahead of the last year of supernormal growth, which would be D3 in problem 3, divided by K minus G. All right, so you look at how many years of non-constant growth there is, and you calculate the dividend 1 year ahead of the last year of fast growth. How do we find an appropriate value to pay for an asset? So this is a throwback, and the answer is find the present value of each expected future cash flow and then sum all of those present values, and that is the price you should pay for an asset. All right, question 9. A company expects to grow dividends 10% per year. The discount rate is 13%. The next dividend is expected to be $1.50. What should the terminal value be? Okay, so the discount rate is 13. Next dividend is expected to be, so terminal value equals D 1 period ahead of the last year of fast growth divided by K minus G. And that would be $1.50. This is $1.50 is what they're going to pay next year. And the discount rate is 13%, and the growth rate is 10%. So that's $1.50 divided by 0.03 equals $50. Okay? All right. Woo, let's work this long problem. Number 10. Long problem. Company recently paid a $1 dividend. D0 equals $1. They expect to grow at 15% next year. D1 equals D0 times 1 plus G1. And that would be $1 times 1.15 equals $1.15. 10% the following year. D2 equals D1 times 1 plus G2, which is $1.15 times 1.10, and that is 1.265. Let's see. They expect to grow at 5. After that, they expect to grow at 5%. So there's 2 years of fast growth, okay? 15% year 1, 10% year 2, and then they'll grow at 5%. So now we have P2. P2 equals D3 divided by K minus G. And so D3 is equal to D2 times 1 plus G3. Okay? And that's equal to 1.265. Whoops, not divided by, times 1.05. Get my calculator out here because the way I expressed the answer, I don't like it. So let's take, so clear this thing outright. 1.265 times 1.05 equals 1.328. Okay, so that's D3 divided by K. K is 10%, 0.1 minus G, 0.05. So we're going to divide 1.328 by 0.10 minus 0.05. And we get, that's right, $26.565. Okay, so we have D1, D2, and P2. These are the 3 cash flows that you're going to get. Now, what is a fair price for the stock today? We have to find the present value of D1, D2, and P2. So let's divide this by 1 plus K to the first, and we'll divide this by 1 plus K to the second, and we'll divide this by 1 plus K to the second, not to the third. Yes, it's the third cash flow, but this isn't the number of cash flows. This is when the cash flow will be received, 2 periods out. All right, so let's find those present values here, and we get 1.045. And here we get 1.045 because the cash flow grew 10% and it's being discounted by 10%. And then this number here is 21.95. I think that's, you can see that. It's in the picture there. All right, what is the stock, a fair price, is equal to the present value of the cash flow. So we have 1.045 plus 1.045 plus 21.95, and we get 24.045. There's a little rounding going on in there. Okay. All right. So, a fair price, what you should pay today, is the present value of the expected future cash flows. What are the expected future cash flows? D1, D2, P2. Let's find D1. Let's find D2. Let's find P2. Now let's find the present value of D1, the present value of D2, and the present value of P2. Add them up. All right, let's do another one. Let's do another one. this up. We're going to have to, this next one has an additional cash flow. Let's leave this up here, like so. Bring it up here. Change these numbers here. All right. Biotech Inc. plans to institute a dividend next year of $1 per share. So we know that D1 is $1. Okay. The company will grow 100% in the second year. So there is no DO. There's just a D1, and then there's a D2, and that D1 is $1. D2 is $1 times 1.75. 1 plus the growth rate. So $1 times 1.75, and that's $1.75. D3, I'm sorry, it's 100% growth in the first year, so we'll multiply it by 2, and that is $2. There we go. There we go. D3 equals D2 times 1 plus G3, and that is $2 times 1.75. Okay, and so that is going to be $3.50. COVID, $3.50. Okay, so we got 3 dividends, D1, D2, and D3, and then 15% thereafter, P3 equals D4 divided by K minus G, and D4 equals D3 times 1 plus G4. So that's $3.50 times the constant growth rate is 15%, 1.15, and that, let's calculate that, 3.5 times 1.15 is $4.03. Okay, then we'll divide that by the $4.03 by K minus G, which is 0.2 minus 0.15, and we get $4. We get $80.50. Okay. All right. D1, D2, D3, P3. P3 equals D4 divided by K minus G. D4 equals D3 times 1 plus G4 equals 350 times 1.15 equals $4.03 divided by K minus G, P3. Now let's find the present value of each of these. Okay? So $1 divided by 1.2, which is K to the first, and that is 0.83, and $2 divided by 1 plus K to the second, and that's $1.39, and the present value of D3 is 350 divided by 1 plus K to the third. That happens in the third year, and that's $2.03. We're rounding a little bit. And then P3 equals $80.50 divided by 1.15 to the third. I'm sorry, 1.2. Sorry. 1.2 to the third, and that equals $46.59. Let's double check that. This last one, I want to make sure that's right. 80.5 divided by, open paren, 1.2 yx3 close paren equals, yep, $46.59. Just want to make sure. All right, now let's add them up. That, present value of D1, present value of D2, present value of D3, and the present value of P3. So a fair price equals 0.83 plus 1.39 plus 2.03 plus 46.59 equals $50.84. Okay? A fair price for the stock is equal to the present value of expected future cash flows. And in question 11, biotech, the expected future cash flows are D1, D2, D3, and P3. Find those cash flows, then find the present value of those cash flows, then add up the present value of those cash flows, and that is what you should pay. If you pay this, $50.84, and you get $1 in year one, at the end of year one, $2 at the end of year two, $3.50 at the end of year three, and then sell the stock for $80.50 at the end of year three, then you will earn 20% a year on your investment. All right. One of the trickiest things that we will do all semester long, finding a fair value to pay for a company's stock that is growing the dividend at a non-constant growth rate for a period of time, and then settling into a constant growth rate. All right, so try to wrap your brain around that for a few minutes. And by the way, I have created a separate set of practice problems that have a few more of these to give you some more repetitions, so don't freak. You'll have some practice. All right, peace out, shalom. We'll come back for homework 6.